Thank you.
All right, shifting gears here. It's a shocking loss for incumbent Senator Bill Cassidy yesterday in Louisiana, and President Trump wasting no time in sending a message to Republicans not aligned with the administration, taking to Truth Social, saying in part, quote, Tom Massie of Kentucky, the worst and most unreliable Republican congressman in the history of our country, is an even bigger insult to our nation than Senator Bill Cassidy, unquote.
Joining us now, Turning Point USA contributor and former United States Navy intelligence officer, Jack Posobiec. Jack, thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning, guys.
Before we jump into everything else, we were just talking about Rededicate 250. You working for Turning Point USA, another faith-based organization. What is it like to see our nation come together today, top leaders and faith leaders in D.C.?
Well, look, it's really amazing. When we lost Charlie, one of the things in the wake of such a horrific tragedy as his murder that gave us hope was seeing people going back to church, was seeing young people going and purchasing Bibles. Bibles were flying off the shelves. And when I see that crowd out there, I see so many young people. And I think this is Charlie Kirk's legacy, bringing faith back to the public square. And just on a personal note, we celebrated our first Holy Communion with our son this weekend. So we're doing our part out there.
Oh, that is so special. Congratulations to your family. I'm sure that was a proud dad moment right there.
Oh, yeah. That's what it's all about.
Yes. Well, let me ask you this. Massie is not the only one, excuse me, in Trump's sights. He also called out Senator Rand Paul and Congresswoman Lauren Boebert by name. So what's the message right now to moderate Republicans?
Well, look, you go back to Indiana, right, a couple of weeks ago, where Turning Point Action played a huge role, as well as President Trump, in going in and primarying a lot of these rhino moderate types that weren't willing to go along and fight fire with fire when it came to these redistricting battles. They weren't interested in going along with the president's message, but more importantly, they weren't interested in going along with the message of the people of their district. And that's why they now find themselves in the unemployment line. Bill Cassidy, the senator there in Louisiana, again, a ruby red state, a conservative state. And when you're just not in line with the people of your state, President Trump comes in and he's able to say, you know what, it's time for new representation. And I look at Julia Letlow, I see an incredible candidate. Of course, her coming up and taking the reins after her husband tragically passed away in 2021 from COVID. She's become an incredible congresswoman in her own right. I think she'd make a phenomenal senator. And then, yes, of course, Tuesday, you have the Kentucky races. And in Kentucky, it's going to be, so you have Senator Rand Paul. He's, of course, he's the local senator, but then you have President Trump as well from the national side. So that's going to be a very, very close race. From everything that I've seen, it's pretty much neck and neck down there in Congressman Massey's district.
Yeah, so Jack, I was just going to ask you that. I mean, so do you expect to see more of what we saw in Indiana and Louisiana? Do you expect to see more of that this upcoming Tuesday then?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me because now that we've seen two of these happen, we could see a trend coming up. But then I always say, specifically with congressional races, that every single district is its own race. Congressional districts are incredibly and famously hard to predict and hard to win, by the way. In fact, President Bush, Clinton, and Obama all lost congressional races before they became president. So they're an interesting animal to begin with. But we will see this Tuesday. I think all political eyes are on that because this is a very, very close race, and there's a lot of money being spent in Thomas Massey's district right now.
Jack Posobiec, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.